When it comes to choosing the appropriate controls to mitigate a certain risk, you should basically go for the ones that there is I would say, a direct correlation between the risk. So for example, if you have, let's say, your files as an asset and you have a threat of losing these files because of the vulnerability that something can go wrong with the server, then a backup is one of the obvious controls to mitigate this kind of a risk. So here in Conformio, the best thing is really to use these controls that are suggested for each and every risk, because these controls are basically confirmed by our experts that are the most appropriate for this combination of assets and threats and vulnerabilities. Of course, if you see any controls that are not relevant for you, you can simply uncheck them. So if you start unchecking any of these controls, you will notice that the residual risk goes higher and higher, which is not something that you want. So the best thing is really to leave these controls as they are here, because ultimately when you come to the step of statement of applicability, then you can decide later on not to implement some of these controls, even though there is a relevant risk, but you can always decide that this control is really not necessary for treating that risk in the statement of applicability. So not here, rather later on.